The message arrived long after midnight, the hour when trouble always seems to find you. The house was silent, but my mind wasn't. You're different now, Matthew. I don't even know who you are anymore. That's what she typed. I just stared at the screen, wondering at what point I stopped being the man she once claimed she couldn't imagine losing. Jessica and I had been married 6 years. We went from college lovers, to partners, to two people sharing a home but not a connection. First the laughter faded, then honesty slipped through the cracks, and somewhere along the way trust evaporated too. Still I tried. I really did. I stayed late at work, not because I wanted to but because I believed stability would make her feel safe. But in the process I missed dinners, anniversaries, little memories, all for a future I thought we were building side by side. Then came Nathan, her old friend. The one who just needed someone to talk to. At first it seemed innocent. A couple of texts. A coffee meetup. Then late-night calls just to catch up. I convinced myself I was imagining things. I told myself Jessica would never cross that line. Until the night I called her, and heard him laughing in the background. That kind of laugh, warm, familiar, too comfortable, a sound that no longer belonged anywhere near my home. When she finally picked up, her voice was smooth, practiced. "I'm with a friend, Matthew. Don't start." Something inside me didn't break loudly, it simply fractured quietly in a way only I could feel. The next morning she left early for work. I didn't question her. I just got in the car and drove without direction. I didn't know where I was going until I saw her car parked outside a small hidden cafe on 5th Avenue in Columbus, Ohio. And through the window there she was, across from him. Her smile, the one I hadn't seen in months, lit up her whole face. In that moment something in me let go. Not legally, not officially, but emotionally. Completely. I watched her laugh, watched her fingertips graze his, and realized the woman inside that cafe wasn't the one I'd built my life around anymore. I drove home, packed a small bag, and left a note on our kitchen table back on Cedar Ridge Lane in Cleveland. 3 words: you chose him. Then I disappeared for 2 days. No calls. No texts. I stayed in a cheap motel off the interstate near Akron, the kind of place where the walls are thin and the front desk doesn't bother asking your name. The silence felt heavy, but cleansing. I hadn't realized how much emotional noise her presence had been covering up: guilt, denial, and the slow ache of knowing I wasn't enough for her anymore. By the second night my phone was buzzing nonstop. Her name. Again and again. Then the messages came. "Please pick up. It's not what you think. We need to talk." But I didn't respond. Because deep down I already knew the truth. On the 3rd morning I drove back home. The front door was unlocked. Inside the air felt strange, thick with perfume and regret. She was on the couch, still in the clothes from the day before, eyes red, gripping her phone like it was a lifeline that never answered back. "You just left," she whispered. Without even talking to me. I leaned against the wall, calm in a way I hadn't felt in years. "What's left to talk about, Jessica?" Tears filled her eyes. It wasn't like that. Nathan was dealing with things. He needed someone. It just happened. Just happened. Like betrayal was clumsy. Like hearts just break by accident. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I simply nodded. I hope he was worth it. For once she didn't blame me. She didn't scream. She just sat there, crushed under the weight of her own decisions. I placed my house keys on the table and headed toward the door. "Take care of yourself, Jessica." "Matthew, don't go," she whispered. But I did. And I didn't look back. 2 days later her sister called. Jessica had been in a car accident. Rainy night. Slippery road. No seat belt. They said it looked like she lost control. By the time I reached the hospital in downtown Cleveland, it was already over. Her room was cold, colorless, too quiet. She lay there under the harsh fluorescent lights, still as stone. Peaceful. A peace she hadn't felt in a long time. Her sister handed me a small envelope. "They found this in her purse. It's addressed to you." My hands trembled as I opened it outside in the nearly empty parking lot, rain tapping steadily against the pavement. Inside was a note in her rushed handwriting. "Matthew, I don't know how to undo the damage I've caused. I thought I was chasing happiness, but all I found was emptiness. You were good to me, better than I deserved. I don't expect forgiveness. But I hope you find peace even if it's not with me. Jessica." The words blurred as tears filled my eyes, tears I didn't want to admit were there. For all the hurt, all the betrayal, that letter hit like a punch to the ribs. She was gone. And all I had left was silence. People whispered their condolences in the days that followed. Some said it was an accident. Others hinted at something else. But I stopped looking for explanations. Some endings never come with answers. I buried her with the letter in my pocket. After the funeral, I drove back to the same cafe on Fifth Avenue, where I last saw her happy. I sat near the window, ordered black coffee, and stared at the empty seat across from me. For the first time, I didn't feel anger. Only a quiet kind of forgiveness. Not toward her, but toward myself. For holding on too tightly. For believing love alone could fix something already broken. When I walked outside, the rain began again, soft and steady. I glanced at the gray sky and whispered, "I forgive you, Jessica." Maybe she heard it. Maybe she didn't. But for the first time in years, I felt free.